pop culture, with DJs and singing graffiti art are expressed every day within the inner cities of America and the world. You are not doing hip-hop, you are hip-hop.
Oh, well, you know what I was saying to myself this morning? I was thinking about a conversation I had with a colleague some years ago, clearly, right? Because I work by myself now. And I remember telling this colleague, because he had made a mention that I don't have kids of my own, so I couldn't possibly understand the worry and the care and the thoughts that go into parents when they send their kids out into the world. And I told him, I said, I don't have kids of my own, but I'm a Black woman who is an aunt to Black nieces and Black nephews. It's always hunting season. And he was like, I don't know what that means. It's like, here's the deal. Here's what it means. It means that when I walk out of my house, I may not walk back in it. And it's not because I'm out here doing something awful. It is simply because I'm a Black woman. That is it. There's nothing else there. The reason why I bring that up before I get into our conversation is, I am still reflecting on the events that happened this week, because there's always something happening. There is a lot going on, which is why I want to have this conversation about how color can inspire us, can anchor us. But I don't believe anybody, and there were 2 incidents, mind you, right? So there were 2 incidents this week alone. There's been so much. But I don't believe any person who was dropping off their kid at school was not going to go out and terrorize the world. That's just not what that is. It's not what it is. And all we can do, in my opinion, beyond being active in your community and exercising your right to vote and having your voice be heard, is for our mental health's sake, our sanity's sake, is to stay grounded. I'm going to say this for the umpteenth time. I'm going to keep saying it. Get you some good people. Get you some good people. Because we're going to need each other to get through this never ending episode of The Twilight Zone. Never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day for this country. Now, that's not today's conversation. But it can be next week. Because trust me, if you believe that between now and next Friday, there's not going to be a lot that we can talk about during our 100th episode of Girl, Listen. Yeah. Now, before I go, because again, I can pace myself, pace yourself. Can we talk about these really quick? Can we talk about my readers? So yes, this is again from Glitz Optical, right? Because y'all know I love how she styles me. Love it, love it, love it. I am all things green. I wasn't joking about that. I am not joking about it. We're all things green. So we got some beautiful readers. Don't you love them? Little green, little gold. We've got our green watch cover, necklace, jewelry. It is all things green. And with that, can we talk about what Pantone put up? Now, I'm not hating on them because they have a job to do. They did their job. However, I find it so whack. Cloud Dancer. Color of the year, Cloud Dancer. Okay. Now, it's not white. It's like an off-white. You know what I'm saying? But it's not white. So, and the whole deal was something about peace and calm and something. I don't know. I was not impressed. Someone actually put together this this color spread of how you can work with it. Tell me boring without telling me boring. Now, I don't have anything against beige. I really don't. I have nothing against beige. But I was like, this is it? This is it? Seriously? And I get that there are different industries that use the colors that Pantone recommend to help them create products in all areas, including housewares. But we have enough white appliances. That is not new. We've had white, bone, eggshell, all the, been there, done that. But I was like, this is so uninspiring. Seriously? If that was my closet, ugh. I mean, It's got its moments. This ain't it. So can we get into what I want to do? So I sat down, Gwendolyn sat down and said, hey, I am going to create my own palette of colors. Don't you even love the styling? Don't you even love the styling? Now, I know that I'm going to get to the comments, but since it came up and I can say that, hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. We celebrate all the birthdays. I know I would have brought some confetti. Well, I do have some here, but I'm not gonna pop it just yet. So morning clarity for me is about renewal. Right? This is how I focus on every day. Renew your mind daily. I know I'm putting some Bible stuff out there, but everybody has their faith. You anchor yourself wherever you need to anchor yourself. Mine is in the good book because it has yet to steer me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But morning clarity is this first shade of green. And when I talk about it, first of all, green is about new beginnings, right? New beginnings, regeneration, expansion. We are facing a lot of transitions, technology, climate, culture. This is about living energy. It's about growth. And it is far more dynamic than, no offense, empty white. Now, white has a place. Because you can do a white and black wardrobe, which I have a couple of things that rock that way. And if you're a New Yorker, you probably got a lot of white and black in your closet, just saying. And gray. But if we're going to pick a color to inspire us for the entire year, I don't think Cloud Dancer is the way to go. That's just my thought. Let me give you my second color before I get into the comments and get into some more things. But True North Green. This is alignment. This is all about getting things aligned. Some of us, okay, well, let me not say some of us. Hold up. Let me make sure I'm clear here. Because I talked about this before. People have shown you who they are. At this point, you got to take them at their word. If your values are really about hurting other people because you're that mediocre and that ridiculous, then I'm going to take you at your word. Okay. But from this point forward, I started last year, but this point forward, I am making sure that my decisions, where I'm going, who I'm working with, they are all in alignment. Now, if you're out here living in hate, then you can't be at my table. That's just not going to happen. That can't be. So this is about your emotional resonance and balance. Green is good for keeping you calm. It's good for keeping you balanced. It's good for emotional restoration. I'm not going to pretend that all of these events happening right now has not impacted myself or those around me. If you have not been impacted, I got a question mark on that. But there is so much going on and it's happening every single day. I had mentioned I was at the doctor a couple of weeks ago when they were asking all these questions about how do you feel? Have you been unhappy or depressed in the last 6 months? Have you felt like this? Have you felt like that? There's a lot going on out here. And sometimes if you have not prepared your body mentally, physically, emotionally for all that's happening, it can be overwhelming. So green can be calming, can keep you there. So I'm surrounding myself in green. This is a year where I believe people are going to crave grounding. They're going to crave clarity. They need something soothing because there's a lot. There is so much happening. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, something else happens. Just when you think this has to be the bottom, we drop another 5-6 layers. It's where we are. And it can be a bit much. So I want to say this as we get into it. Green is the color that is going to define 2026. Let me get an intro going. Good afternoon. I think I'm doing pretty good. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. You're watching Girl Listen. It is 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock and all the clocks. It's that time, no matter where you are. Yes, I am the cheerleader for all. And I'm slightly taking on the title of professional disruptor, but I got to be careful with that because that might get me in some trouble. But I'm always down for good trouble. So let me say that. Let me get into my comments here because we have a lot going on. My mother is here because mother likes to show up on time. Appreciate that. My sister is here as well. My sister's here. My dear friend Theo, he's hanging out. He is sleeping on his blanket. So no, he's not a person, but I love Theo. He's the cutest cat. And I'm not really a cat person. So what does that say? Miss Elise is here. Hello, Miss Elise. Ron Foster is in the building. Now this is it Florin? Okay. I like that name. It's kind of cool. Hello, good afternoon to you. Yes, Cloud Dancer in all those colors. I find them to be boring, just absolutely boring. It's like, we're not doing that. And I know I can say with confidence, having worked with color makes a difference. I know Ron Foster knows about this too. Color in the rooms, in our homes, in buildings where we work, it makes a difference. So if you're thinking, oh my goodness, what's the deal? Think about the colors in your house. If you're missing something, throw in a throw pillow or something, a blanket, but your bed sheets. Think about where you can bring in something if you're, you know what I mean? Because it makes the biggest difference. That's not just making up some stuff. As Ron says, it's a color of calm in a world of chaos, and it is chaotic right now. I stopped questioning, like, I don't know. I don't have any more words. I don't know how many times I've used disgusting just when I thought that certain humans couldn't get any more disgusting and despicable. And they're like, wait a minute, hold all my beers, Gwendolyn. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I do know this though, you have to anchor yourself in some rituals to protect your inner peace. Okay. You got to anchor yourself. I am anchoring myself in rituals of self-care, and then I'm surrounding it with a particular color because I know what's going to work for me. What works for you, you got to find that out. But color may be it. And thank you, Miss Elise. Man, that invite's coming. Dr. Tachi is here. Hello, Dr. Tachi. Hello. Let us continue. And if I want to say this, if you are inspired to get your own color of the year, the same way that I have had a word of the year and a phrase of the year, I pick something every single year that says, this is my rock, and I'm going to come back to this throughout the year. But this green, I've had a good time with the green. We've had an amazing time with the green, and green looks good on me, if I may say so myself. So you know. So we're going to talk about green. Again, this is my color palette. You can figure out what you want for your color palette, or whatever your favorite color is, whatever soothes your soul, brings you joy. Here's my next one. It is Rooted Resolve. This is about stability, and we're going to need it. And routines bring stability. Now, before all the kerfuffle, I was taking a walk at the park at 1:00 every day, minus the weekends. I was like, I got to go out. A couple of times he even called Ron. I was like, Ron, I'm out here. He's like, it's so windy. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but I got to get my walk in. Because the nature grounds me. As an earth sign, nature grounds me. I need it to keep myself together, to get rejuvenated. When things are feeling kind of wonky, I go outside, I meditate, because it works for me. This is about stability, right? So we're looking at that green is a universal color of environmental consciousness. Choosing green for 2026 signals alignment with global movements towards sustainability, climate action, eco-innovation. White feels detached. And it's so interesting, like how there were some thoughts put into this. I know I worked with my AI companion to help me figure out what shade of green I wanted. But I did say, here's what it needs to represent. And when you think about how our parks, how our protected lands right now are being ravished, how in a number of cities that didn't ask for it, you got these AI data centers going in, sucking up all the water. And then you have the noise pollution. Yeah. We need a little bit of environmental consciousness. We need it. Mother says black. Black is your color, Mother. If you want to, I can work with different shades of black for you. Because there's black and there's a blackity black. Then there's a gray black and a charcoal black. So we can work out but yes, black is very simple. I have a lot of black in my closet. We're adding green though. I have a good chunk of green. But we want to talk about being aware of how we are operating in this time. Now, I'm just looking at the US, but there's a lot of things happening worldwide. We know that. We know it. At some point, we got to say to ourselves, we can't keep doing what we're doing. Technically, you can. I don't know where that gets you, though. Like here in Texas, I was just reading how there are some towns that are concerned about not having any clean water in a very short time, right? For some reason, there is this idea that we're at a certain level of greed that just says, I want to take everything. I'm going to ravish everything without any thought of what tomorrow is supposed to look like. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. But this is about being sustainable, being more conscious, and operating appropriately. We'll see where it goes. We shall see where it goes. So let me talk about evergreen vision. Evergreen vision, this is legacy. And I don't really like to say legacy per se because we're in the moment right now. I typically like to think about wake before I talk about legacy. There are a lot of people who want to leave something for the world, and so they focus on what's my legacy going to be. I like to focus on wake. In my opinion, wake is right here, right now. Everything you do or don't do impacts somebody else. Now, I get it. Some of us were born with, we were raised with the idea of you want to stand for something. So if you see something going down, you're going to say something. Whereas we're now at a place where there were people who would literally pull out their phone and watch a fire happen and then say, wait a minute, is that fire coming towards me? Everything is not entertainment. You have people who would say, well, that's why I don't jump in because I don't want to get involved. At some point, you're going to have to pick a side and get involved. I'm just saying. That's just what that is, right? That's just, so I think about wake. Everything you do or you don't do, it's going to impact somebody else. Somewhere down the line, you may not even know it. So let's talk about this one. This is about our creative symbolism. So across cultures, green is about luck. It's about prosperity, vitality. You know, you got the Cantonese lucky greens, Islamic sacred green, even the green room. Think about they put guests in a green room. Hello. This color invites imagination. It has cultural connection. And nothing against white, nothing against it, but it's neutral. And it has the risk of just being bland. I mean, that's what it is. I know that it's a safe base. When you think about black and white, you know, those are your safe foundations. You really can't go wrong because everything is great with white, right? Red, white, blue, white, green, white, yellow, white. Same thing with black. It's a safe space. Even if it's not the purest white, it is still safe. And again, I don't know what Pantone, Pantone does what Pantone does. You know, you pick and choose. Although they're, in terms of fashion and what have you, they do look to incorporate some of the suggested colors that that they put out there to say, "Oh, here's your next trending something, and here you give us white," which is just sterile. It's like, ain't nobody doing that. Pantone is a cartel. Ooh, Dr. Tachi. I've never really gotten to their history, honestly. I know people, they do look to me, they have fashioned themselves as the color experts. That much we know. Everybody looks to them to figure out X, Y, and Z. But I may need to get into that. But like every year, we look for, well, what's the color of the year? What's the so-and-so? And I was like, that's what you're giving us? Are you kidding me? Like, at least I sat down and said, I understand that what's happening around me, I'm going to need something to keep me together. Now I've got all this, I've got my green confetti, or my streamers rather, from last week is still sitting here, but it's making me smile. So I don't know what their thought process is. I mean, I know the lady talked about it and I was like, okay, whatever. Nobody's buying that brand. Call it what you want. Ain't nobody buying it, but yes. So that is number 4. Let me give you my 5th color here. Let me give you the 5th one so I can stay on task. Midnight growth. Oh, and I really do like a nice dark green. I love a good dark green. Absolutely love it. Most of the greens in my closet are on the medium to dark green side. Not a lot of light. I have a little bit of Kelly, but not too much. But I love a good dark green. This is about inner work. Inner work. So here, this green, this represents continuity. Where is that? Continuity and becoming. This is that in-between space. We're not finished like white. This is a very fertile becoming when it comes to growth. This is about your projects unfolding, your ideas that are germinating, the aspirations that are still alive, even if they're incomplete. This is about things that are not finished. Now, if you were here last week or you watched the replay, I celebrated the fact that things are not finished. We are all works in progress. We're all works in progress. Our story is still being written. We got a lot to tell right now. Woo, buddy. But your story's not done. This is about doing the inner work. And in moments like this, where the world is chaotic, and for some of us who have had the privilege to not have to deal with that chaos, some of us have had the privilege to be shielded from what others have seen every single day. Well, now it's knocking at your door. And now you may find yourself saying, the dream that I was living in is now becoming a nightmare, or has it always been a nightmare? It can be hard to recognize and even acknowledge just how awful certain things have always been. That's a lot. It's a lot. But that's where that inner work comes in. Because if you believed that I could be here in the middle, I could just be neutral, and you believed I can be in this safe space and I really don't have to pick a side, and now you're finding out it's getting kind of funny. Being in the middle isn't going to work for you, because you're going to find a situation where you're going to have to say, what side am I on? Just saying. History repeating itself. I'm just going to, you have to say something. You're going to have to pick a side. Which side you pick on I can't tell you. That's not my job. But understand where you are. Understand what's happening. That is that work that needs to be done. This is when some people really get tested. They thought they were something. They said things. They reshared, reposted. And then they're like, ooh, that's, yeah, this is it, kids. You're about to get tested. You're about to see what's really going down. This is what midnight growth is about, is doing that inner work. That is it. And we got some work to do. Now, having be a person who stays in prayer. I pray without ceasing, Lord bless. When this horrible episode is over, when we get out the Twilight Zone, when we get back into some other universe, I don't know. The work that's going to have to be done. Yeah. And if I may say one more thing before I move on, I was looking at some movie trailers. And there may be a movie, one, that I might get in my car to go see. There were so many movies about the end of the world, the apocalypse, these zombie-like animals and people. I thought to myself, y'all are pretty depressing. Are there no like rom-coms, no comedies, nothing? I mean, there's like Street Fighter 2 coming out, but I was like, wow, this is what we're doing. The world is coming to an end. I was like, golly, who y'all hanging around? Makes a difference, in my opinion, makes a difference. So let me get to wrapping this up because it is about that time. Here we go. Upcoming events. So it's going to be 100 episodes next week. What? Yes. Cheers to 100 episodes. That is next week. I am excited. I have to order some new confetti. I don't mind the streamers. I mean, they're okay, but it's not the same as having like the confetti. There's actually still the streamer hanging off this light. It hasn't fallen yet. It's been there all week because you know how I do. But 100 episodes. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Yes, we're there. As Jessica says, because people need to get right with the Lord. Yes, they do. They do. Jessica, let me say this really quick. When I saw those movie trailers, a couple of things happened. There is some movie, I think it's playing or whatever, or it's one of those made for Amazon, made for Apple kind of things. But there's another movie that's very much like Deep Impact, where the asteroid came and wiped out some stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's like seeing that. There was another movie that was like, what was it? Was it Silent Hill or something? I don't know. It was just like, I'm seeing these trailers and I'm thinking, we have seen all of this before. You can't tell me that all of y'all in the room and you don't have anything that is new. There was one with the chick from the Blacklist and something about she's got to protect her family or fight something. It reminded me of that one with Jennifer Garner, was like spearmint or something like that. Peppermint, whatever that was, meant something. I said, we've seen that too. We've seen all of this. And you wonder why so many movies are sucking. Let me leave that conversation for another day because that's about creativity and the lack thereof around the table. But yeah. Yes, 100 episodes. Can you believe it? I know, 100. I'm going to have confetti and a little bit of some champagne. Deep Impact annoyed the heck out of me. Really? I thought it was it was interesting. I mean, I watch it a couple of times because, you know. But yes, there is a movie kind of similar to that. And I thought, ugh. And then they brought like Street Fighter 2 and then another Street Fighter something. And I was like, so we're going back to doing video games. Okay. If this is what we have to look forward to in terms of cinematic entertainment, oh yeah, you guys are in trouble because this ain't it. Like none of those were it. So we've got 100 episodes next week, Lord willing. Every Thursday we have our work and chill. I wasn't there yesterday. I'm sorry. I had to be a plumber yesterday and fix the toilet. I got it done. That's all that matters. And I was like, I got to get this done. But we are going to be there. So we're going to be there. Make sure you roll through. And then we're also bringing back our lights, camera subscribers. Since our YouTube workshop, we're bringing it back. So that's going to be Wednesday, February 11th. there's more to come about that. So I'll put it in the description after this show is over. And if you haven't, you can get on the Mature and Marvelous email list. It's a newsletter that we put out about once a month. Once a month, I go and put that newsletter out. So want to be a part of that because there are great things in there, really inspiring information and ideas and videos and what have you. So we need a place, people. We need a place to rest our emotions and not be on 10. Because if you think this is bad, oh, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm not a doomsday person, just saying. But you've been watching Girl Listen. I am Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. I appreciate you all being here and giving me your time, either watching now or in the replay. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And let me leave with this. If there's anything I want for whoever is watching, is it whoever or whomever? Let me not get into the English thing. For those of you watching, I just pray that everybody is safe, and we are at a place where you really do need to get you around some good people, and I mean that, good people and location sharing, because this is not the world that we knew a year ago. It is not. And if you believe that it can't get any worse, I need you to probably go see some of those currently doomsday movies. Is it just how out of pocket it can be? Because this is it. But with that, thank you, Mother. Great show. Jess says, have a good weekend, everybody. Yes, have a good weekend. I'm going to see you all here next week for the party, Lord willing. Be safe. Hey, it's G. Thank you for watching this episode of Girl Listen. Be sure to catch me every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And while you're here, I cordially invite you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all next week.